o'clock, so let's begin. Good morning to everyone who's joining us for Welcome for Reproductive Justice, not just abortion, not just women. This is an international virtual conference hosted by the Institute for Ethics in Public Life. I'd like to welcome you if you're attending individually. I also like to welcome faculty and students from at least 14 universities and colleges around the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom. Since its founding in 1999, the Institute for Ethics in Public Life has been guided by a belief in education's role of fostering informed discourse. The Institute promotes the idea that citizens should make sound choices based on free speech, and those in public life should lead in humility and govern for the public good. The Ethics Institute is a program of SUNY Plattsburgh that also is supported by generous gifts to the Plattsburgh College Foundation. For more than 20 years, the Institute has run a fellowship program and conducted weekly colloquies open to all members of the SUNY Plattsburgh and greater SUNY communities. In addition to thanking my esteemed colleague, Gloria Bobby, who we'll hear from in just a few minutes, for organizing and leading this conference, I would like to extend my appreciation to the conference planning team, Dr. Michael Devine, Director of Interdisciplinary and Area Studies and a member of the English faculty, and Dr. Richard Robbins of Anthropology. In addition, I would like to thank other moderators of the day's proceedings, Dr. John McMahon in Political Science, Dr. Priti Samudra, member of the Psychology faculty, and Dr. Connie Shimo of History. And now I'd like to introduce the president of SUNY Plattsburgh, Alexander Agnetti. Dr. Agnetti is a veteran academic leader, administrator, and scholar. And he joined SUNY Plattsburgh in January 2020. Before coming to the North Country of New York State, President Agnetti served as provost and vice president for academic affairs at Humboldt State University, where he oversaw 13 distinct units, including 3 academic colleges, the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and the Office for Research and Sponsored Programs, among others. Dr. Agnetti came to Humboldt State in 2015 after a 22-year career at Western Michigan University in Kalamazoo, and now we are delighted that Dr. Agnetti is with us here at SUNY Plattsburgh. Good morning, Dr. Agnetti, and welcome to the conference.
Well, good morning, Jonathan. And again, it's great to be here this morning, and I'm hoping that you'll indulge me to provide a few welcome and opening remarks for this conference. So as a starting point, I just want to say good morning to all of you who have joined us today. It's certainly my honor and privilege to welcome you to today's Reproductive Justice virtual conference that, as Jonathan Slater has just mentioned, is being facilitated here at SUNY Plattsburgh. I also need to return to the thank yous to SUNY Plattsburgh's anthropology faculty member, Gloria Bobby, for organizing and all the incredible work that she's done in the background and in the foreground, everything from Zoom to the logistics to get this organized today. Also want to acknowledge the college's Institute for Ethics in Public Life for hosting this day-long international conference, and also to echo Jonathan Slater's comments that additional support was made by generous gifts to the Plattsburgh College Foundation. So with that, I just want to begin with an observation. And the release on Monday of the draft SCOTUS opinion on Roe truly underscores the importance of today's conference. So the urgency of today's discussions are certainly magnified to a greater extent than they were even just 3 days ago. And so for some context, back in 2019, New York State passed the Reproductive Health Act, or the RHA, which legally granted medical providers the ability to meet the reproductive needs of their patients without political interference. And this act acknowledged that every pregnancy is different, and legislators should never tie the hands of medical professionals who should then be free to provide the absolute best care for their patients. And the Reproductive Health Act ensured that qualified healthcare providers can provide safe care without fear of punishment. So this begs the question, what value are legal rights if they are inconsistently applied and often tied to moral or public opinion positions? That is why reproductive justice is so critical. It's not enough that reproductive health care is legal, rather consistent, equitable access and affordability are the key. Ultimately, reproductive justice links reproductive rights with the social, political, and economic inequities that affect a woman's ability to access reproductive health care services. And reproductive justice includes equitable access to affordable contraceptives and comprehensive sex education, as well as freedom from sexual violence. Thus, in my opinion, today's conference is such an important piece of the worldwide reproductive justice conversation. Throughout today's conference, scholars, healthcare experts, and policymakers from around the world will examine the ethical implications of reproductive justice issues, and they will explore possible solutions for change. These individuals will offer important insights into the problems that sometimes arise in our medical systems, problems that can lead to women feeling traumatized, depressed, and helpless, and how these issues impact partners, families, and entire communities. These experts will also discuss the disproportionate burden faced by women who are minoritized as they experience systemic racial oppressions that further restrict their reproductive resources and equity, particularly a critical issue, given the following statistics that I'm going to provide you. According to Planned Parenthood, the rates of unintended pregnancy for Black women and Latinas are nearly 2.5 and 2 times higher, respectively, than white women. Also from Planned Parenthood, Black women are 3.5 times more likely to die in pregnancy and childbirth than white women due to a lack of access and poor quality of health care. And finally, according to the Kaiser Health Group in California, most private insurance covers reproductive health services, but Black women who are disproportionately lower wage workers are 55% more likely to be uninsured compared to their white counterparts. Thus, it is essential that we work together to protect the health and wellness of all members of our society, paying particular attention to our most vulnerable, oppressed, minoritized, and compromised individuals and communities. This conference is a true opportunity to discuss the collective responsibility to understand and equity apply quality, accessible, and affordable healthcare to all, based on the specific medical circumstances and the needs and necessity of each individual patient. More specifically, it is an opportunity to do all we can to ensure that health drives all medical decisions throughout a woman's pregnancy for however long that pregnancy lasts. And it is an opportunity to do our part in creating a system where those decisions are made by women themselves in close and trusted consultation with their chosen healthcare provider. Once again, it's my pleasure to welcome you to today's virtual conference. It is an honor to greet you this morning, and I will turn the virtual microphone back over to Jonathan. Jonathan?
Thank you, President Agneti. Thank you very much. Just some pieces of advice for those of you attending the conference before I introduce my esteemed colleague, Gloria Bobby. You will be able to view all presentations from this conference recorded after the end of the conference. If you have questions during any of the sessions that you're attending, you can type them into the Q&A section of your Zoom screen. And whoever is moderating the session or the actual leader of the session will address as many of those questions as possible. Now to Gloria Bobby, our conference organizer and leader. Gloria is an anthropologist at the State University of New York, Plattsburgh, where she has taught for 25 years. Her main focus is global issues in which medicalization of healthcare is a topic addressed in her research and teaching of global issues. Gloria served as a consultant for the U.S. Department of Education Star Schools program. She began the online learning program at SUNY Plattsburgh and served on the organizing committee for the eGov for All online international conference developed by the Benton Foundation and New York Forum. She is a COTE Coat Fellow and has been inducted in and is a member of Delta Kappa Gamma Society for Women Educators Alpha Sigma Lambda, Phi Kappa Phi, Sigma Beta Delta, Phi Alpha Theta, and Phi Eta Sigma. She has received an All-American Scholar Award, SUNY Plattsburgh Outstanding Distance Learning Faculty Award, and the Chancellor's Award for Academic Excellence in Academic Teaching. So I will leave things to Gloria now, who will introduce the conference and provide us with a trailer for this evening's event, if I'm not mistaken, our film viewing and colloquy here on campus. Gloria, the virtual floor is yours.
Thank you, Jonathan, and thank you, President Niedi, for both of your remarks. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, medicalization of pregnancy and birth was a huge topic in academia. Research continually showed that it was leading to harm, and there was a movement to stop the practice. Then other topics like abortion, which was and is heavily politicized, took over, and we all moved on. Last year, I stumbled across the Birth Time documentary. I thought, what a great documentary this would have been when I was teaching the topic, but why now? So being a curious academic, I headed for the library databases, and I was appalled at what I found. The discovery that not only had the practice not abated, but had grown considerably, led to the development of this conference.